and you are listening to The After Hours here on CILU Radio, 102.7 FM. I have with me in the studio via telephone Becky Black from the Pack A.D. Hello, Becky.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So I was watching TV the other day, and I heard one of your songs, and at first I didn't realize that it was one of your songs. I just thought to myself, I know this music. And then it hit me that it was a song of your guys. I was watching Lost Girl.
Oh, yeah.
That Canadian show. So how did that come about, that your song went on that TV show?
Oh, I can't remember that one. I think they just asked if they could use it, and we said yeah. They used it.
I thought it was pretty interesting because it's kind of like fairy lore, that show.
Oh, yeah.
And the song was Sirens.
Yeah, I guess it kind of fits. And
there is a character on the show that's a siren, which is pretty interesting.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that show.
Oh, no? Somebody recommended it to me, and because I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I thought I'll try it.
I love Buffy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've seen all the seasons, and Angel too.
Oh, Angel I was never able to get into, but I'm gonna give it another try.
I just kind of felt compelled, like I had to watch all of it.
Really? That's what other people have told me, that it's kind of a package deal.
Yeah.
You need to watch it all. So very soon your new album is going to be coming out, and you're going to start your tour, and the tour is crazy big this time.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not so bad. We had a year off, so enough time to get ready for this year, which is going to be quite busy.
And you guys have been touring around for so long. You've come to Thunder Bay several times. I've seen you here a couple times. And I was wondering, do you know if you're going to stop in Thunder Bay?
I think so.
Yeah?
I don't know if all the tour dates have been released yet, but I'm fairly certain. That
would be cool. Well, if you don't make it this time, there'll always be a next time, so.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there again. It's, I don't know if we are on this leg, because we're dipping down to the States. It's one or another, really. You either go through the Shield or you go underneath the lake, like Chicago or whatever.
Well, and Chicago's a great city to play, I'm sure. There's a lot of musicians there. Have you played there before?
Yeah, we've played there a few times. It's always good there.
So this time there's a lot of really fun videos that you made for your album. Is that something you guys always kind of do?
Yeah, we've always sort of made videos. I mean, in Canada, we've got that grant system, so sometimes you get a grant, sometimes you don't, but we've so many times we've applied for a grant for a music video and had a whole concept and haven't gotten it, and we're just like, well, we'll just make it, ourselves, and kind of like low budget style, but we ended up doing that for a lot of songs.
Well, I think that's made your videos really unique and really engaging, especially the battering ram one. I really loved watching two women be violent towards one another.
Yeah,
it kind of sounds twisted. It sounds twisted, but it was interesting to see that on a video. Was it fun in that persona?
Sure, it was fun. It was fun getting yanked on like a cord and doing like the kind of special effects thing. And actually, not really. I mean, it was fun, but it was definitely, I could see why stunt people get injured a lot. Like, it's dangerous work.
Yeah, for sure. So the concepts for the videos, do you guys have a lot of input?
We do. Sometimes we have an idea, and if the director has an idea, then, we'll often go with theirs, too, because you want to give somebody, like, creative control, because, usually if it's their vision, they're going to probably see it through a little bit better. But the ones that we do sort of just with us, like a couple of videos we've done in the past, like the Crazy video and Deer and Cobra Mate, we did those like super low budget, but just hired somebody that had a camera basically, and it was our idea. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are you able not only to be creative musically, but through video?
Yeah.
Are both of you guys like that? You're creative in many other ways?
I guess so. Maya comes from a bit more of a film and writing background than me per se, but I enjoy that too. Like I like the fact that you can, all art is sort of interchangeable. You can kind of put it all together in ways. Like I like music videos because they're a good combination of sort of film and music, which are huge industries, but they're kind of like I don't know. I think they don't maybe not have that much to do with each other, but they can.
Yes. Well, and I find one can really inspire you to the other. Like, I'm not a musically so much creative person, but I am in other ways, and I'll find, watching one thing will inspire me to create in another way.
Yeah.
So, you guys have been touring since 2006. Is there any place in the world that you kind of had a moment where you thought, I can't believe I'm playing in this town or on this stage or to this many people? Did you know those moments you have when you're kind of in disbelief of your life? Did you have anything like that happen to you?
It's funny. You kind of don't. I mean, I haven't. Maybe it's just because sort of everything that I've ever done, like once it becomes reality, you accept it as your reality, as opposed to sort of being bewildered by it. It kind of just becomes like, yeah, I'm doing this. It almost takes a conscious effort to step back from it and go, wow, I'm doing this. Which I guess maybe I only do that not in the moment, but looking back on certain times and being like, oh yeah, I'm a musician for a living. That's kind of rare and pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But you don't always, you take it for granted. You don't always think about it from an outsider's point of view, I guess.
And I was actually watching an interview over the last week, and I didn't realize you toured with No Means No.
Who?
With No Means No?
Oh yes, we did. We did a couple with them.
That must have been a really fun experience too. A punk rock band around for so long, and you guys touring with them.
It was great. We did a couple Europe tours with them, and I thusly acquired a taste for Scotch actually with them. Kind of cool, touring with old men, can't go wrong.
Well, and they seem like such nice men.
They are. They're very, very nice men.
So you've worked with probably a lot of different record producers. Have you found like a difference from the beginning, the first album that you made, to now, like styles of people that you're in the studio with? Does it affect how your music sounds?
Well, actually, we self-produced all of our early stuff. We only got a producer on our previous album, and we picked the same producer for this album that's coming out because it worked really well on the last one. So I don't know. It's almost a creature of habit sort of situation. You kind of get used to a certain setup, and if it works, why change it? So
well, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think our music definitely has changed, but that's been just sort of a natural progression.
Yes. I wondered about that the early times, because sometimes you're in the studio and might not jive with somebody, and then it might not make the process very enjoyable.
Yeah.
But if you did everything in the beginning yourself, self-produced?
That's
pretty interesting. What was that like?
Well, it was pretty much all we could do. We couldn't afford a producer, so you got to work within your budget.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So I thought maybe we could listen to one of your new songs and then come back and do a little bit more talking. How does that sound?
Okay.
Oh. So you're listening to The After Hours here on CILU Radio 102.7 FM. Here is the Pack A.D. with Big Shot off of their new album, Do Not Engage.
I think I said the end is coming. You said that's great, I'll be king. Well, you're a jerk, quite a piece of work. I think it's fun that you're so dumb. It's such a lonely world. Through your indignity, you're no chip's property. Like that ape on the tower, crushing planes by the hour. Big shot, big shot, big shot, big shot.
we just heard from the Pack A.D. with one of their new songs, Big Shot, off of their just-to-be-released album, Do Not Engage. And I have with me in the studio Becky Black from the Pack A.D. Hello, Becky.
Hey.
So we were just talking while that was on, that now you're on a new label, and that it's a little bit of a different experience because there's you're able to go down in the States and do some interesting like live shows and stuff like that. And this new tour that you're going on, is there any one city that you're really looking forward to playing?
Well, there's all the usual suspects, I guess, but I don't know. There's certain cities in Canada that I like playing because we've had the most success so far in Canada. Like Calgary is always really good. People drink a lot there. We're hitting Europe in the spring, and I always like going there too. It's a different experience. A little bit of a change of pace, you know.
Yeah? How so?
Yeah.
How is it different there?
It's just the shows are kind of different, you know. Like I guess when you tour in North America, you're kind of like you book a gig and then you get your hotel and you figure out your food situation. But in Europe, they take care of all of it. Sort of, they're like, oh yeah, just show up and set up your gear, and then here's your dinner, and here's where you're staying. And I don't know, it's different. Like
that's awesome, nice. Really.
There's good hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot less stress for you. You can concentrate on just having fun at the show rather than having a place to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
The crowds are usually pretty good too.
So, did you start playing the guitar? Like, was that your first instrument that you ever played?
First instrument I played, well, I think it was probably a recorder.
Okay.
In elementary school.
Yeah.
And then I played the flute.
Oh, okay.
In grade 8. Okay. And then I started playing guitar when I was probably about 14. And I guess that's what I've stuck with.
Have you ever been like wanting to try bass or drums or anything like that?
I've played a little bit of drums and bass. You know, bass is an easier sort of, like it's a guitar, but you know, 2 less strings. So I can play bass, but drums are another story. I've come up with a couple of our drum beats, but I don't know. I'm not much of a drummer.
No. Well, it's complicated, All the independence you have to do, and makes your brain hurt a little bit. I've
the hand and foot and left
exactly.
and right separation. Yeah.
I've done a little bit of learning of drums, and I remember thinking it was one of the most complicated things I'd ever learned how to do.
Yeah.
Right up there with kind of learning a language. So.
Yeah. Learning language. I've tried to do that too.
Yeah. Do you know any other languages?
No. I mean, I've tried. I don't know. I know little bits and pieces, but I usually just go for the ignorant card.
Well, and if you smile, most people understand a smile when you're in another country, right? As long as you're smiling and you're Canadian, you're all right. Ooh.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming and talking to me on the show tonight. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we're all looking forward to your new album and the tour. And you have a lot of faithful fans in Thunder Bay, a lot of them DJs here at the station. So it's great that you took time to talk to me tonight. I'm appreciative.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play Animal as the last song of the day. And have a good night and have a good time at your movie tonight, Becky.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks for coming on CILU Radio.
right.